Simunovic on the serve. Back row, miscommunication. This is a golden chance for Cincinnati here. Over to the hot hand, it's Glendening. And she sends Cincinnati to a set 1 victory. Nice job by Crawford. She gets up to her feet for the attack. It's sent back. Wake still a chance, dumped over by Bellows. Simmons gets to it. Haynes has to send the free ball. Farrell calls everybody off to set Crawford, and Cochran with a great dig. Tight set for Simmons, and Michigan wraps up set 2. Back row, Jacobs pushed to the middle. Whitekettle, nice dig by Gordon. Demetrician, wow, big block. There it is for Wake. We were waiting for it to come alive again. Hawkins and Whitekettle both there. Pushed over by Crummel. Back set Murphy. Liederberg got a fingertip on it, kept alive, and the free ball over by Gillespie. Long set as Cincinnati tries to regroup. Glendening digs it. Nolan the tap, pancakes. Farrell up, here's Murphy. That's out. What a win for Cincinnati on that point. Some fresh legs out there for Michigan. She's playing in what was Amalia Simmons' spot. Williams. Free ball Murphy. Demetrician's been the hot hand. Instead it goes to Haynes. Pushed over by Baker. Back to the middle for Haynes once again. Overpass. This time back set, back row. Back to Jacobs. Getting the college volleyball season started once again, and tonight we bring you to Cincinnati, Ohio for the annual Tribute to 10 tournament. And kicking it off, the host Bearcats take on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. This is going to be a lot of fun this weekend, a 3-team, 3-day event. Tonight the Bearcats and Demon Deacons get it started. Tomorrow Michigan joins the fold, taking on Wake Forest, before the Bearcats take on the Wolverines on Sunday to wrap up the tournament. Welcome to Fifth Third Arena. So glad you're with us. I'm Anthony Mazzini here with Stephanie Niemer and Melissa Lucky. There have already been some really, really good matchups, top 25 matchups to start the college volleyball season, guys. You can add this right to the top of the list. 3 teams out of 3 powerhouse conferences. Bringing you back to Cincinnati, Ohio for the final day of the annual Tribute to 10 tournament. And in the tournament's final game, we bring you the host Cincinnati Bearcats back in action against the Michigan Wolverines out of the Big Ten. Both of these teams went 1-0 in their only match so far this weekend. Back on Friday, Cincinnati took down Wake Forest out of the ACC. Yesterday, the Wolverines beat the Demon Deacons. And today, it is Cincinnati against Michigan on the final day. Welcome to Fifth Third Arena. So glad you're with us. Here with Stephanie Niemer and Melissa Lucky. I'm Anthony Mazzini. This is the de facto championship for this Tribute to 10 tournament. It should be a lot of fun. For Michigan, of course, guys, they get the momentum, having won 3 consecutive sets to beat Wake Forest yesterday. Cincinnati, obviously, Stephanie, with the fresh legs, having not played since Friday.
Right. I think the key for Cincinnati today is to establish their offense, get the middles involved, get that opposite position involved. Also, serving and passing is going to be key, getting Michigan out of system.
And Michigan brings that youthful energy and veteran leadership, and that veteran leadership sure stepped up in yesterday's 4-set win versus Wake Forest.
And obviously part of that veteran leadership, Melissa, is Allison Jacobs. She might be the most complete player in this tournament.
Yeah, you really need to keep an eye on their star, Allison Jacobs. She's the powerhouse at the net, leading the team in kills with 24 yesterday versus Wake Forest. She's a constant threat on offense, whether she's in the front row or the back row. And
that jump topspin serve is nasty. You'll have a lot of fun watching that. 3 aces yesterday. Flashback to Friday, Stephanie. Sydney Nolan was great against Wake Forest, too.
Right, on the flip side, Nolan, she's the most dominant presence for Cincinnati on the court. She's really embracing playing all 6 rotations this season, a change-up from last season. But this season, the sky is the limit for Nolan.
Now, you mentioned playing that 6 rotations, finished just 3 digs shy of a double-double in the season opener. This one should be a lot of fun. The 4th all-time meeting, Michigan leads it 2-1. And both of these teams starting the season 1-0. Wake Forest went 0-2 in this tournament. Both of them 4-set losses. Friday to Cincinnati, yesterday against Michigan. So the de facto championship game is underway between Cincinnati and Michigan, and it starts with an attack from Sydney Nolan. Schnickels is denied by the block. Burke the set to the back row. We saw that a lot yesterday with Jacob streaking in. Here's Nolan once again. Popped up by Cochran, the libero. In the middle, Jenna Haynes. She had a nice match yesterday as well. And Cincinnati goes to their middle. It is the Liberty transfer, Brooke Crummel, getting the first point.
Great rally to start this match. Both teams, good digs on both sides of the net.
A nice start for Cincinnati, getting their middle involved. Brooke Crummel with the first kill of this match.
Crummel did not play last year. She was a red shirt with the Flames in Liberty. Up to Schnickels, and she's hoping for a touch. She didn't get it. Missed it down the line, 2-0 Cincinnati. We saw both teams yesterday, Melissa, Wake Forest and Michigan, really try to attack the lines where those setters were setting up the block.
Yeah, really from both sides of the court. Both their opposite hitters and their strong side hitters really trying to take advantage of that smaller block and go down the line.
We get the match's first challenge today, a touch. Michigan, Schnickels especially, thought she got a touch on the high hands. And so Erin Virtue, the head coach for the Wolverines, challenging early in this first set.
So looking from that view, it doesn't look like you see a finger move on Spies, which is challenging when you're an outside. You have an undersized setter on that pin. You want to hit high, but if you hit too high, you're going to miss. Might be a better look here. Still don't see it.
I don't see it either. Usually, you know, when they slow it down like that, you can see, even if it barely hits a fingertip, you can see that finger move, and I did not see it.
Some great looks at it from our camera crew today. They've been fantastic all weekend. An early aggressive challenge here from Erin Virtue. You get 2 per match. If it goes to a 5th set, you add another one, but no more than 2. Now the point stands with Cincinnati. The call confirmed, no touch. So again, trying to attack that setter for Cincinnati. That's Andy Spies, and Michigan loses the challenge. So the Bearcats stay on the serve with Lily Gillespie, who was fantastic in that new look libero jersey for the Bearcats, stepping in to replace Faith Frame, who transferred out of the program to Arizona State. Tracked down by Liederber, one of the freshmen for Cincinnati, and the free ball over by Nolan. Burke the set for Schnickels once again. Can't get it by the Cincinnati block. Tough set there for Nolan, just taps it over. Burke up for Simmons, and a whistle comes in. It is a violation on Cincinnati, point Michigan.
Another tight set by Michigan that Simmons was able to handle. Sydney Nolan called in the net on that play.
Simmons started the match yesterday, played 2.5 sets, and then was replaced by Ella Demetrician, who was absolutely fantastic for the Wolverines. Demetrician finished 1 kill and 3 digs shy of a double-double in only 1.5 sets. Jacobs tried the push shot at first. That time taps it over to Nolan, and that is a bomb for her first kill.
That was a great set by Spies. Perfect tempo out to Nolan. She was able to get a nice high swing on that ball and hit outside the block.
She just seems so comfortable, Stephanie, in that outside hitter role.
I just think that's where she is meant to be. We have seen her in multiple positions, in the middle, on the right side of the net, but she can be more involved when she is on that outside hitter position.
Good serve from Spies, forced the overpass, and now Cincinnati in control. But a good dig in that back row by Simmons sets up the Michigan offense.
Cincinnati's attackers need to do a better job of transitioning off the net. That time, Gretchen Sigmund was not transitioned all the way behind the 3-meter line, and so she really couldn't get anything on that ball.
And the kill for Jenna Haynes there. She finished with a whole bunch of them yesterday at that middle blocker position. Racks up her first today, and an ace there for Cochran. Erin Virtue, we already mentioned her. She's in her 3rd season as the Michigan head coach. And you see the bottom line there, a former Cincinnati assistant for 4 years. She said that was her first real job in volleyball, and it's where she really learned how to go about being a coach, and really where she learned to fall in love with the game. Nolan, another swing and a great dig from Cochran. Jacobs cross court, there's Gillespie. Nolan tries again, and that time it's good.
Again, another great swing by Sydney Nolan. They must have picked something up. Cincinnati was here scouting the match between Michigan and Wake Forest, and they must have picked something up. Great swing by Sydney Nolan.
She's back on the serve now. Had 21 kills on Friday against Wake, already 2 today. Schnickels. That time she hits the line, and the Minnesota transfer has her first kill. Daniela Tomic, the head coach for Cincinnati, her first year. She spent 13 years at Bowling Green. She was at FIU for 7 years before that and picked up win number 1 in her Cincinnati tenure on Friday against the Demon Deacons. Nice leave by Nolan there.
So now that we're in the third match of the weekend, something that both of these teams have had the opportunity to do is scout each other. That first match for each of these teams, they didn't have a lot of material to go off of, but we're going to see some things here today that worked for their opponents in the prior 2 matches.
And for Michigan, it's Lydia Johnson, who's been a nice accessory piece. We've seen a lot of Demetrician, we mentioned. Jenna Haynes out of the middle. We've seen Simmons a lot, and Johnson was a nice piece yesterday for the Wolverines.
And that's something that Coach Virtue had mentioned, is the depth of this Michigan team, and that was very evident in yesterday's match. Multiple contributors.
First look at the serve for Jacobs. Cincinnati does well with it. Sigmund's denied off the block. And out of the middle, Nyambio. She wasn't heavily involved yesterday, Melissa. Good to see her get a swing early today.
Yeah, Michigan's passing yesterday at times broke down, so it's really hard when the pass is not on point to keep your middles involved. So that's a very important point there, to pass well, to keep their middles involved, because that will open up their pin hitters.
Nyambio only had 13 attacks yesterday, delivered 6 kills. That's missed time there with Spies and her hitters. Off the block and down for Simmons. And again, yesterday for Simmons, it really wasn't anything that she was doing wrong. It's just they needed a spark in the middle of the match, and they went to Demetrician, but Simmons is certainly a high flyer.
Yeah, she does a really nice job. She's got incredible vertical leap. She's a little undersized, incredible vertical leap, and she's able to really tool that block.
Had 5 kills yesterday. That big jump serve forces the overpass off the hands of Nolan, and it leads to the kill once again for Nyambio. And all of a sudden, it's a Michigan scoring run of 3-0.
I think that might have been her best serve so far this rotation. Really tossed that ball nice high and in front of her so she could really go after it.
One thing she hasn't done yet with this serve is really hit a seam. It's been a lot of hard balls right at the Cincinnati back line, but when she was at her best yesterday, she was doing that, picking her corners and hitting the seam. That's going to force a Cincinnati timeout.
And you can really tell by that toss is so high, but you can really tell if she starts perfecting that toss, this jump serve is going to be lethal come Big Ten Conference.